Look, this is an IQ test, and it may just be a memory test. Do you remember monkeypox? Do you remember bird flu? Do you remember every time they've tried to bring back the COVID lockdowns? We don't need to go back to that. That was a complete failure, the whole response to COVID, and don't let them bring it back. This is an IQ test at this point.
The hantavirus is a big deal right now. And so now here's Dr. Robert Malone, who was, no matter what the Atlantic magazine says, he was the inventor of the mRNA platform. He was the first one to do that. And of course, he didn't invent the COVID vaccine, but he invented the platform that it was built on. And he's got patents on many vaccines, and he's one of the leading people in that field. And so here's what he tweeted out yesterday. He said, your odds of being struck by lightning are more than 7 times greater than getting hantavirus in the USA. About 250 people get struck by lightning each year. There are about 35 cases per year of hantavirus he meant to say USA, in the USA, 35 cases a year in the USA with about 12 deaths per year on average. Obviously, hantavirus shouldn't be a big concern for the vast majority of Americans, but I turned on CNN, and here's what CNN is saying.
And what a quarantine might really mean in context of the long incubation period. And we have a question from one of our viewers. They ask, it's said that it can take 8 weeks to become symptomatic. The passengers shouldn't be allowed into the public until they're completely cleared. You know, what is that a fair way to look at this? I mean, how long do you think people should be quarantined who are either on that ship or in contact with someone who is there?
Yeah, I mean, this is the big challenge with this virus, the long incubation period. And now we have people scattered really around the globe that are being properly tracked, isolated, quarantined, and get it under control. But what they did was they quarantined and isolated people for 40 days because of the long incubation period. So unfortunately, this is a key factor in us trying to figure out, how do we keep people safe? How do we prevent further spread? I mean, what we're all tracking right now is that potential secondary spread. And then how do we minimize those who are infected from infecting others?
So there is, again, CNN being completely alarmist about another pandemic and wanting people to be quarantined and trying to scare the hell out of everybody at the behest of certainly Big Pharma, which pays 70% of their bills. What's your reaction to this hantavirus pandemonium?
Look, this is an IQ test, and it may just be a memory test. Do you remember monkeypox? Do you remember bird flu? Do you remember every time they've tried to bring back the COVID lockdowns? The laptop class longs for the days when they could just sit at home and order their crap on Amazon and get their groceries delivered, never go out and see anybody and collect a paycheck, and have it their way. And look, we don't need to go back to that. That was a complete failure, the whole response to COVID, and don't let them bring it back. This is an IQ test at this point.
And, the WHO is in on it too. So one of the good things they did was they pulled this, Trump administration, they pulled us out of the WHO. I mean, in my estimation, that was a good thing. And here is, the World Health Organization is now openly saying that the hantavirus outbreak proves why the world needs centralized global health control. Let's listen to just a few seconds of this.
But how does that translate in a global solidarity? I will let time to tell, but we really need this incident, this outbreak has seen why the world needs a global entity that coordinates this. The Argentina support how they came forward.
So what he said was this outbreak of hantavirus, which again, as Dr. Robert Malone says, you have a greater chance of being hit by lightning than catching this. The WHO is now currently saying this is proof that we need a central health organization for the world like the WHO. Do you have a response to that?
Yeah, the WHO is the first cousin of the WEF, the World Economic Forum. And those are the Epstein class. Look, there are a class of billionaires who want, Bill Gates included, and by the way, the CEO of the World Economic Forum had to resign over the Epstein files recently. But they're all first cousins. They all want more control. They will not let any crisis go to waste, and they'll manufacture a crisis if they don't have one already, because fear is the biggest motivator of people, and they know it. And so that's all this is. It's a power grab based on fear, people's fear of their own, their health and well-being. And the reality is it'd be a whole lot healthier if you just ignore these folks, eat good food, stay out of the hospital if you can, and stay off the medications if you can, and quit letting them poison our food with no liability.
And by the way, I'm told that ivermectin will treat this if you have to worry about it. But of course, I'm sure they're going to lie about that. Come see me on tour in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Atlanta, Raleigh, North Carolina, Spokane, Tacoma, and Levittown, New York. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.